I'm Melissa Raymond. Some tough times across the country right now, including here in Indiana, as we deal with the coronavirus and the numbers continue to climb. There are now more than 80,000 cases of the virus across the U.S. with more than 1,100 deaths. Here in Indiana, 7 new deaths being reported. The number of positive cases across the Hoosier State now stands at 981. We're expecting to hear from Governor Holcomb again later on this afternoon, right around 2:30. He's set to talk about Hoosiers who work in other states and which states' guidelines they should follow. As for President Trump, he says his administration is getting ready to roll out new social distancing guidelines for every single state. NBC's Tom Costello takes a closer look at that.
This morning, members of Congress are scrambling back to Washington over fears that passing that massive $2 trillion relief package could be delayed. With several lawmakers testing positive for the virus and others exposed at home, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was planning a long-distance voice vote. But overnight, new concern that at least one member of the House, Republican Thomas Massie, might force a recorded vote, meaning at least 216 members must show up to vote on the House floor. The rescue plan, aimed at helping American families and businesses, would provide an additional 13 weeks of unemployment benefits, plus an extra $600 per week for 4 months. It would send loans to small businesses that retain their employees, and $1,200 to most adults, plus $500 per child. The Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, says those individuals could see that money direct deposited within 3 weeks. It comes as President Trump is previewing new guidelines for state and local officials grappling with the outbreak, allowing them to set their own standard for social distancing. The president, in a letter to America's governors, says his administration will classify counties as high, medium, and low risk based on coronavirus surveillance testing, mapping the spread of the virus. But some doctors are already blasting the administration's plan, insisting the proposal is impractical and premature.
I think it's lunacy. It's the exact type of messaging we don't need. We need 8 to 10 weeks of a national lockdown, not a county-by-county approach.
Also this morning, New York Governor Cuomo reiterating his state, his hospitals need 20,000 ventilators to deal with critically ill patients. The president, however, questioning whether that state or any other needs as many ventilators as they say they do. I'm Tom Costello in Washington. Back to you.
So now let's take a closer look at how the money from this relief plan breaks down for you. Individuals making $75,000 or less will get payments of $1,200. Then couples who earn up to $150,000 will get a $2,400 payment, and you will get an additional $500 per child. People who make more than $99,000 won't get any payments from this stimulus package, and neither will couples who make $198,000 or more. Now let's take a live look at the Dow this afternoon after it had a rough start on the futures market. Right now you can see the Dow is down at nearly 900 points at this point. The Dow was coming off its biggest 3-day rally, though, since 1931. We're going to keep an eye on that, of course. We're getting new information today over in England about British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Those close to him are now saying he's tested positive for the coronavirus. Johnson is already self-isolating at his home and is continuing to lead the country's response to COVID-19. During an online video message earlier today, Johnson said he had a temperature and a persistent cough. The positive test comes, just 2 days after the 71-year-old Prince Charles tested positive. And back here in Indiana, a teacher in Hamilton County is also testing positive for COVID-19. He's one of 2 staff members who have tested positive. This involves a teacher over at Hamilton Southeastern High School. Sean Krull is recovering after he learned on Monday that he tested positive. He started to run a fever a day after the district closed on Friday the 13th. And a few days later, Krull went to the ER with pneumonia as well as a high fever. He's now sharing his story in hopes of saving a life and just urges everyone to take this very seriously.
Take it seriously. Be smart. Wash your hands. Practice social distancing. Just be smart about it. Don't think that you're invincible.
The school district sent out a letter to parents and staff letting them know about the possible exposure, the last day of which would have been March 13th. That means today would be the last day of a 14-day quarantine. A Johnson County nursing home is defending what it did after several residents there tested positive for the coronavirus. Otterbein Senior Life took Franklin took the 7 residents to the hospital, but the state health commissioner called the decision unnecessary. She says every facility should have a plan to handle cases, but the nursing home disagrees with this. The VP of Marketing sent us the statement saying, "We simply will not take unnecessary risk, especially when dealing with this extremely dangerous and lethal virus." The nursing home says its biggest concern is preventing the spread to its hundreds of residents as well as its employees. You know, we continue to post new information every single day, and we're working to answer all your questions that you have about the coronavirus. We have them all compiled for you on our website. You can find that WTHR.com/coronavirus.